Next time. Okay, it started.
Okay. Hi, Oni. Good to see you. Welcome back on Tales from the Towers. This is episode 1 million, probably. So, I have a few questions lined up for you. How are you today?
Finding you, Tandiva. It feels like I've seen you last year. Oh, I did see you last year.
True, true,
That was
true.
2 days
Yes,
ago.
yes.
How was
Yes.
your New Year? Were you naughty at least?
No, I went to bed very early actually, and then I woke up too early. So,
You're getting old. How old are you now?
still very young. I'm 20, freshly 20.
Come on, have some fun for a change. I want you to see dance all night and party and so what time did you go to bed? 9 o'clock, I guess.
Actually, it was earlier than that.
Sandy, we have to fix you.
No, I think I'm okay just the way I am. Thank you. Okay, can we get along with the questions?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, so I actually want people to get to know you a bit and also know you from a business view.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to ask you sets of questions that just differ, but nothing out of the ordinary. So
Okay.
first, something that I'm really curious about. What inspired you to be part of tech? Like, what inspired you to just pursue a career in tech? Like, I'm gonna just open an internet service provider, which is not easy, by the way, I must say. So yeah,
Mm. Okay, so are we gonna ask questions about me? Okay, this is I love podcasts like this where questions are about me. Honestly. Okay, so why was I inspired to get into the tech field? My dad always used to have little gadgets and stuff. He was mad about technology. I don't know if you remember these Palm Pilots. You won't remember. It was before your time. It was like almost like a PDA, a personal digital assistant. And I started programming little programs on the Palm Pilot probably when I was like 7 or 8 years old. No, 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 no. It was after that. He had the very first computer. He had one of the very first laptops in South Africa. Uh, I played all these DOS-based games on the computer, and I think it ran in my dad's veins, and he made me interested in gadgets and stuff. And then I met a very influential friend called David Butler, who was a computer whiz. And at school, we used to program stuff. We had a ZX Spectrum that we programmed sprites on. Sprites is like animations and stuff, and wrote in assembler language and started programming in BASIC. I wrote some programs for our school, for the English class and for the maths class, which they ended up using. And I just had all these guys that used to inspire me. And then when I actually grew bored of programming, especially at university, it was like just translating stuff. For me, it wasn't really interesting. And then got more into the networking side of things, which I really, really loved at Fetcher. So basically, I started as a computer operator, printing out hundreds and thousands of reams of papers for pay slips and things like that. Used to work night shift and then was promoted to the networking division, and then later ran the internet division when internet just started out. Didn't run it. Let's be honest. I was the only guy in the division. So yeah, always had an interest in tech and stuff until today. Everything that I do in the business as CEO, I still love the tech bits more. I studied medicine in between. I studied to become a doctor in between, and I
wow.
absolutely hated it. I hated it. I studied for a year, and they used to invite us to Tigerberg to go watch a lady give birth. I couldn't handle it. Honestly, the sight of blood just when I told my mom, she was so disappointed. And then I went to do a computer science degree. Also, was one of those students that some subjects was just so boring. I just couldn't pass stats. I just could not do it. I did not enjoy stats. I did not enjoy the maths parts. Costs 101. I didn't enjoy the programming. And I mean, why do you go study computer degrees to study programming, right? Programming to me was like translating a thing from English to Afrikaans, boring. Didn't enjoy that. Now I'm having fun though with AI and all this. I think that's fun.
All right. So now I have this company, techCONNECT, and obviously, every company has its culture. Every company has um, the way employers behave within each other and how they handle each other, treat each other. What would you say is the techCONNECT company culture? What culture do we have going on? How do you
Look,
view innovation?
there's the culture that I really want, and I think there's the reality. And the culture that I really want is where we are all leaders and we all use our own initiative and we all make mistakes and we all feel safe and we are learning every single minute of every single day. And then the reality is that we have um, guys working in the sun on roofs, inside roofs, and it's really, really, really hard. It's really, really difficult work, and my heart breaks every single day. And every day I ask, how can I make things easier? But sometimes you have to go through the hard things, you know. Um, I think the what I'm here on earth to do is to grow leaders. And if I can get to that stage where my staff literally, when I give a suggestion on something, a new idea, whatever, and it is happening that they tell me it won't work because of this and this and this and this. Sometimes I have to override their opinions and do it anyway because life is a learning curve, and if you don't just do something to get somewhere, you'll never get there. You must at least try. The dreams, goals, hopes that I have for the business is like a guided missile. We keep on adjusting until we hit our target. And that's like life. You know, life is you don't, it's not a smooth one-way direction. You keep on adjusting, keep on adjusting. Um, I'd love our culture to be one of love for each other and being a family, you know. And family, it's interesting if you have that culture. Family members sort each other out, but they continue loving each other. You know, we continue loving each other, although we do make mistakes and things like that. The person that makes the most mistakes in this business is me. Um, Before you joined, you can ask the other staff. I used to implement a new software system every month, new bookkeeping system, a new CRM system, because I like to tinker, you know, and implement new stuff. And I quickly was told that I cannot continuously change everything, you know, and so yeah, I do make mistakes, but I would love the culture to be one of learning, hope, love, and feeling safe. Everybody needs to feel safe. And what do
I
you think is the reality?
I do feel we are very close to family to each other. I feel we tend to consider each other a lot, and you'd sit with someone and they'd be like, "I'm struggling with one, two, three," and you'd really empathize with them. You'd really understand them rather than just looking at we're colleagues and we're just here to work. Each one, here's your work and here's mine. Let's just leave each other alone and get the work done. I feel we're more
Mm,
than that. And this is a company that I personally love and I feel warm in, I feel protected, I feel loved, I feel welcomed and appreciated also. So for me, the company culture is solely based on a good foundation of love. We have our
mm.
trial and error, we love.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Tanya, sorry.
Yeah. So for me it's mostly love. It's just great
Okay.
company.
But we still need to get rich, right?
Definitely, definitely. We all need money. That's the goal. Okay, and you mentioned you definitely tend to implement new things every now and again. You still do, you still do. Give me a bit of a headache sometimes, but it's interesting. I love it. So you recently also introduced us and introduced the whole company to Biquant. Biquant is our new server of some sort. Can you maybe tell us more about it? What it's going to do
So
for?
Mandalan Glovo, you remember him, our traffic police officer. So we used to use a different system
Mhm.
to, and it uses a technology called FQ Coddle. And what FQ Coddle does is it looks at the data that's going through the network and prioritizes certain data and pushes other data down the priority ladder. So, for example, video streaming, WhatsApp calls, VoIP, voice over IP calls, those kinds of things, it pushes up and that goes through first, and then Windows updates and things like that. Slower traffic that's not immediate, it pushes down. But Biquant has another facet to it where they call it DPI, or deep packet inspection, where we can do so much more. We had requests from businesses, schools a lot, where between certain hours they wanted to block social media. Now, DPI allows you to look at every individual stream. So it is a video stream, but we chop that video stream up to Netflix, TikTok, Facebook video, Reels. And then we can say, optimize Netflix, let Netflix go really quickly. The Facebook video, block that. You won't believe me, certain clients want Facebook, TikTok, those kinds of things blocked. There's a very specific reason. Not that I always agree with it, but they want their staff to work, be productive at work, and not watch TikToks and things like that. Personally, I feel if you're watching TikToks and things like that, you don't have work, but that's what certain clients want. They, for example, want TikToks and whatever to be open during lunch hour, which is nice and fine. And now we can start doing that. We've lost some functionality that Presim used to have. But I think overall, I'm happy. I'm happy with Biquant, and both products are good. You could actually do DPI, deep packet inspection, with a different software or firewall. You can install a firewall at a client, and that'll do the same. Both products use FQ Both products optimize the same. Biquant just has that one little bit of extra where we can actually optimize streams. It has less things than Presim in a certain way. For example, our latency monitoring, we can't view what's going on our access points. We can't throttle our access points, which, sometimes you win, some you lose, some you win. It's just one of those things. I needed the DPI, and that's why we decided to go for Biquant, to be able to look at individual streams. It's working. It's working well. It just feels like we have a lot more insight into the data. We can't see exactly what clients are doing, but we can see a TikTok stream, for example. We can see this is a Facebook reel, and then do something, minimize or just give a certain amount of bandwidth to that Facebook reel. All the other clients are open. It's currently just our corporates that want that functionality. But remember, you have to give the big payers what they want. For example, like Tesla, they went in with a Roadster. That's how they started the business. A very, very, very expensive product. And that very, very, very expensive product financed the production of the cheaper cars for the normal guy on the street like me. So our big corporates had demands. We gave them what they wanted. And now we are able to use the additional money to finance better internet, more internet for our consumers like us.
Mm. Okay, all right. Does that mean that those clients would be able to have some feedback based on what most of the data goes through? Like they'd be able to see that most of the time things that pull a lot of data is Facebook or WhatsApp or Instagram or something of that sort. So you tell me that they would be able to receive that feedback from us.
Yes, if you can actually view the data live. Once again, cannot see what you're watching, but I can say it is a Facebook reel, or I can say it is a TikTok reel that's playing at the moment. And interestingly enough, Niku showed me the other day on one of our largest towers I'm gonna lie, but let me just think clearly. It was more than a quarter of the traffic was Facebook video, and TikTok. TikTok's a big one as well. Probably about 20% of the traffic's TikTok. What's nice about the Biquant as well is it can show us how far away the servers are from our data center. So our data center, where all our lines connect is in Tarako, in Isando, in Johannesburg. And now we can see which other providers are close to us. For example, we measure how far away they are in latency, in pings. So
Mhm.
Microsoft is 8 milliseconds away from us. TikTok is over 100 milliseconds away from us. So TikTok doesn't have a server in South Africa. So I think that's why TikTok buffers a bit sometimes. Or maybe
Mhm.
TikTok servers just further somewhere else, maybe in the Cape. The ones that are really good is Netflix, YouTube, Facebook. Those are really close to us.
This is some interesting information, and what I like about this is we still have our client. We still provide privacy to our clients because we don't have access as far as being able to see what a client is doing on their personal
Mm,
device, which I feel be an invasion of privacy. But overall, we can still provide companies and businesses and other individuals with the information of what goes through their line, what's currently happening on their lines,
mm,
without privacy. And
mm,
that for me is a big win.
mm. No, definitely. And I think the idea behind the internet as a technology was to enable everybody to get access to information privately, securely. And if there are ISPs that are monitoring your browsing and what you're doing, I don't feel that's right. Honestly, it's not right. Um, Also, one thing, Tani, this is maybe a bit off topic, but what do you use your social media for? Entertainment, training, learning?
It's honestly a mixture for me. It's honestly a mixture for me. And personally, when I'm outside home or when I'm at work or when I'm looking at things specific to work, I'm pushing for something educational, something that's going to help me in future. But I have my moments where it's solely just entertainment, where it's solely just documenting things and just having something
Mhm.
to look back to.
I saw
So
your TikTok channel. Yeah, it's interesting. You must do it. Honestly, don't stop. Don't stop.
I'm trying to
Mm.
just push myself outside my comfort zone a bit. So yeah, you mentioned that you are trying to push leaders. You're trying to make leaders out of us, especially everyone in the company. So I have this follow-up question that actually correlates to that, and I wanted to ask, what habits or routines do you believe have actually played a role in where you are currently, in terms of the business or personally? Like, what habits and routines do you have in place for such things that you encourage?
Just one thing, consistency. That's it. Nothing else. Consistently doing the right thing. That's the most difficult thing. So if I decided to work out, which I do, and I had a workout session once every 3 weeks. It doesn't matter how many times I have that once every 3 weeks, my body's still going to degrade. If I have a workout session for 10 minutes, 7 days a week, that's going to be much better. It's going to show results much quicker, and I'll continuously improve. Everything that's good to do it consistently. Um, Nothing else. You know, life and business is a game. And the way that you lose this game is by giving up. So if you decide that this business is not worthwhile pursuing anymore, I'm not making money, that's when you lose, when you stop. You'll never lose if you don't stop. Life is the same. As long as you climb that mountain and you don't stop climbing, you're never going to lose. As long as you go through life and what's that saying? Pain is mandatory, suffering is optional. There's going to be pain. That's life. This is how it works. Everything is hard. Um, but the moment that you quit walking and enjoying the walk, you don't have to feel that it's suffering. Life is an adventure, and go through life as if it's an adventure. And take you know what, these guys that become millionaires and billionaires that I listen to and that I know, some millionaires, they said when they became a millionaire, they never ever felt different. It never dawned on them that now all of a sudden they're rich, but they missed the old times. They missed the journeys. They missed the hard times. They missed the times when they had to sleep on their shop floor, or when they didn't have they had to sleep in their cars. They remember those things, and those were the learning experiences for them. And the second thing, Tandy, which I think people battle with, is this work-life balance thing. Um, I was with somebody the other day where they received a phone call 5:30, and they were cross because it was from the office, and they were cross because somebody phoned them at 5:30. And I'm thinking, oh, I hope my staff don't feel that way when I phone them at 5:30, because the he said that the work should respect that this is after hours. Now, that means he doesn't like being at work, you know? And I absolutely love being at work. Sometimes I love being at work more than being home. And this work-life balance thing, I don't know if that really works, because you should love what you do. Working is like probably 70% of the time. The people that you spend with 70% of the time is your colleagues at work. So work should be nice and fun and great. And that's why I want to build leaders, because they should love coming to work. If you feel like you don't want to wake up in the morning to go to work, you're not in the right place. You're not in the right place. You need to actively look for a different place to be, because it's going to be 80% of your time is going to be spent there. So um, consistency and work-life balance, get that right. I feel it's more work-life integration. So when I want to spend times with my kids, I will take them to work, or I will do something with them, even if it's work related. Yeah, it's really, really difficult, this work-life balance. And the discretionary time that you have, in other words, the times that you're in the shower, the things that you think about, all that I think about is the business, and what how to make it more successful. And then finally, sorry, I'm hopping on a bit. I was always a transactional businessman. In other words, if I give you so much, you will give me that back. So
Mhm.
the clients could feel that I'm transacting with them, that um, I see them as money, you know. And I had to realize that it's not about transactions, it's about relationships. That's something very, very important in business and in life. Um, and everything, each and every look, the client isn't always right. The client is wrong many, many times, but the client is king. And you need to realize that the client is king. So you treat that client like a king. It doesn't mean that you do not tell the client when he's wrong. It doesn't mean that you do not sometimes use your knowledge and override their decisions and tell them you really do not think this is the right way to do this. Um, but the client's always king. So you treat the client with respect, and you respect that relationship that you have with the client. It's not about money. Realize, I've told you this many, many times. Of all the money that you're going to make in life, you only get to keep 10%. The rest you give away. You give that to help the world, you know? Um, so yeah, consistency though is the most important.
Got that. Then lastly, actually, but this can just work as a top up because I feel I've already given you the platform to give so much advice. So you've already pocketed my next question. So my next question and my last question is actually, what advice would you offer to young adults venturing into navigating the adulthood, just growing up, whether it's in their careers, work, or social life, whatever? Just any advice.
They're not going to like my advice at all. They're not going to like my advice. But I will honestly tell you that, how do I put this mildly? I feel that it is much better to go work for somebody whose skills you want to acquire. For example, if you want to become an architect, or you want to become a master builder, go work for somebody for free for 6 months to a year, and make yourself useful to them by giving extra and working longer and learning from a good mentor. You can never, ever get the knowledge from books, from role playing, from watching YouTube videos than working with a mentor that can show you exactly. So let's take an example. You want to become a graphic designer. Would you want to go work for a business that has one graphic designer who is mediocre and earn R1 million a year? Or would you rather work for a huge company that has dozens and dozens of graphic designers and you go work for free? They're the best in South Africa. You go work for free for a year. Everybody would say they'd go work for R1 million. Do you know what you're doing? Is you're delaying your success. Because every moment that you're working for somebody and you're not learning something new, you are delaying the big, big money that you're going to earn. So the first year, you're going to earn R1 million. The second year, you're going to earn R1 million. You're probably going to have a lifestyle that uses up all that money. And that's another thing. Live below your means. Live so far below your means that it doesn't matter that you're poor, that it doesn't matter that you don't have the best car. Just live below your means. Whereas if you go work for the graphic designing company and they put you on a program and they have in-house training and you actually sit and work and you, by the flick of a finger, you can go to the best graphic designer and tell them, I'm battling with this, and they can quickly show you in 5 minutes how to do this. You are bringing all that experience into you and saving time to go earn the big bucks, because the best graphic designers out there don't earn R1 million a year. They earn much more because they've got their own studios, they've got their staff working for them, they've got agencies, etc., etc. They would laugh at R1 million a year. To them, that would be an absolute joke. So don't think that the big salary in the beginning is the greatest thing. It's not. Then also tap credit cards. Don't make debt. Debt will kill you. You're going to work in the trenches for years and years and years and years, probably 10 years that you'll be working in the trenches. And it's a honor. It's an honor to be working in the trenches because somebody rich has seen you and said, I'll offer you a job. But when you work in those trenches, you should be learning every single day. They should be training you. Otherwise, go work in a different trench for a different person. Then do a variety of things, as many things as possible, because you're young and you don't really know what you want to do. It's nice to be in an environment where you can try a lot of different things: sales, marketing, um, finances. You don't really know what you want to do. There's so much advice. I'm just thinking of the advice that I give to my kids. When you feel down, when you physically become sick, when you don't feel happy about yourself, train your body. Go for a walk, go for a jog, do something physical with your body. Always have a plan. Plan what you're going to do for the next 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. And then success doesn't happen in 6 months. Real success takes 10,000 hours or 10 years. Have a long-term plan. Have a 10-year plan minimum. No business, no venture tried. What does Warren Buffett says, or Charlie Munger, I can't remember. It's amazing what you think, how much you can do in a year. You think you can do a lot in a year, and how little you think you can do in 10 years. You can do much more in 10 years than you think. That's why I have a long-term vision. If I go to someone and a young person, so what are you going to do? No, I want to be a millionaire and I want to drive this type of Mercedes and whatever. And when you're going to do it, no, I'll do it by the age of 25. I laugh. You are unrealistic in your expectations. A bamboo shoot takes 5 years before it starts shooting up. You need to work in the trenches. And then finally, once you've got your knowledge, it goes like this: learn, do, teach. Once you've got the knowledge in your head, teach that to other people. Once you are that specialist, start teaching other people, become other people's mentor. And That's how you're going to have success in life, and that's how you're going to earn the big bucks. Not that I'm earning the big bucks, but getting there.
Okay, this has been quite the podcast actually. Quite I've learned a lot and I've heard a few interesting things that I feel I'll apply myself also to my personal life and my work life also. Same life, but really good.
Hmm. It was
So
really
yeah,
nice talking to you, Andy, honestly. And I still feel there's so much potential in you. Do not use those talents. I know you're working hard. I know you're doing the things that you're supposed to be doing. I know you're studying, and respect for that. Just just be consistent. Do it every day, and whether it's here at techCONNECT or any other business, you will be successful. And I want you to look back at this podcast in 10 years, in 10 years, and see where you're going to be. You've got your vision board for the year. I'm going to help you make those dreams come true. And remember, we're here to help. We're here to help. So
definitely.
let's think about how we can help the other guys.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Anu, thank you very much for your time. It
Thank
has
you.
been a pleasure.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you, Tandy. Thank you for the insightful questions. You made me think a bit there. But yeah, I'll see you soon.
Definitely. Thank you. Enjoy your day further.
Okay. Same to you. Bye bye.
Bye.